on The Bobby Bones Show now.
Amber Pike from Love is Blind.
Amber, how are you?
Hi, I'm great. How are you doing?
Pretty good. I, like most of America, have watched this show and watched multiple episodes in a row and just thought about you and how your life has changed since this thing started blowing up.
It's been insane. I honestly never thought that it was going to turn into this huge bit of shenanigans that it has.
You know, whenever I first heard the concept, I thought, okay, they're going to do this dating show. But did they pitch it to you guys as a dating show, or was it more like a science experiment? Because all through the show, you're talking about experiment.
So, yeah, okay. So when I was first approached about it, somebody reached out to me on Instagram and was like, hey, how do you feel about being on a TV show? And I'm like, is there a white couch involved? What do I have to do? This is really sketchy. But she was like, no, this is legit, and it's a dating show. Are you seeing anybody? I was like, well, I'm single, I guess. Like, what kind of dating show? And, once we got a little further into the process and she had interviewed me for the first time, then they explained to me, like, what the concept was. And I'm not going to lie, I was really confused because they just kept saying, you're going to be dating somebody without seeing them. And all I could think was, is there going to be paper bags on our heads? Or, like, how are we doing this? Or I kept imagining, those old 80s shows where you get to pick somebody from the other side of the wall.
Like the dating game.
Yeah, that's honestly what I was thinking. And I'm like, how are they going to make sure we don't sneak a peek? Because, like, I would be very tempted.
And you never got to see any of the guys, even though they were, like, in the same house across the hall or however that was built?
Nope. And it's actually really funny. The set that we were on, we could actually hear the guys, and the girls could, we could all hear each other if we yelled loud enough. So there were sometimes, like, we would do shout-outs to each other from across the hall, which was actually pretty fun.
It's like bigger versions of the pods.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Whenever you go into this thing, they take your phones. Is that true? Before you start doing?
Yes.
So how long are you in the house?
I want to say total, like, I think I wasn't until, like, the 10th day that I got engaged. So I was in there for quite a while, and they took the phones throughout the entire, like, dating process, and we didn't get those back until we got back to Atlanta. And I think that made, like, it was a huge part of the experiment is, what is it like without the outside world? And I know for me, it made a huge difference not being able to call my friends and be like, hey, stalk this guy. Like, tell me everything that you can find out about him online. So it was an interesting thing to deal with. Haven't had somebody take my phone like that since I was 17 in boot camp.
Amber Pike from Love is Blind is on. And now it lists as your occupation on the show as a tank mechanic. What exactly would you do with the tanks?
Oh, gosh. I was in the National Guard for 8 years, and my MOS was tank and track repair. So I knew how to work on diesel engines and brake track and things like that. But aside from that, outside of the National Guard, I also went to school. I was a server. I was a hostess. I worked as a bartender. Like, I just work all around the S&B industry.
Did you think before that show that you would ever walk into a pod and get engaged without seeing a person?
No. Honestly, after my last relationship, I never thought I was going to get married, and I'm pretty sure me and all my friends were resigned to the fact that I was just going to be the fun aunt that shows up to reunions and brings presents and stuff. So I was open to the idea of it, and I was kind of hopeful because who doesn't want to fall in love? But also I was very skeptical about it because I'm a huge personality, and finding somebody that can, keep up with me and meshes well with me, it seemed unfathomable at the time.
Did you feel like you were fairly portrayed on the show?
And as well as they could. Like I said, I'm a big personality, so you can't. These were 10 episodes, so there's only so much that you can really capture in that amount of time. So I think that they did their best, and I think that there are a lot of things that people are just ill-perceiving with what they were able to see. So, to each their own. Everybody's entitled to their opinions, wrong as they may be.
Are you getting weird DMs from people that are not enjoying who you are on the show, and the opposite, people who love you on the show?
100%. 100%, yes. Love the love. There are so many supportive comments, and I find, like, I am obviously a confrontational person. I'm not scared to speak my mind. So when I was having people coming at me negatively, it was really hard to bite back my instincts and try to argue and fix everybody else's opinion. So I'm learning that. Like, I've started just blocking and deleting all of the hateful things that people are saying, which is not generally in my nature to avoid confrontation, but I'm getting there.
You get engaged on the show and you get married on the show. Before you walk up to the altar, did you feel like he was going to say I do? Did you have that, like you felt it regardless of how it was portrayed?
Yes. So a private moment that I don't think that they actually captured was when I first got to the venue. I was obviously like really upset and freaking out because he did text me that morning saying he was having cold feet, et cetera. And I'm like, oh God, I need to talk to him. So when my mom got there, she saw that I was stressed and I told her like what was going on. She goes, well, do you want me to go talk to him? I was like, yes. So my mom went straight downstairs and she was ready to tell him off. And she came back a few minutes later. She was like, oh no, he's fine. Y'all are gonna be great. He's gonna marry you. He's in love with you. You're set. You're good. Which that just took so much, like, I don't know, weight off of my heart. I was just so content after that and ready to just, ready to go say I do.
Crazy.
Wow.
The whole thing's crazy. Amber Pike from Love is Blind is on. Amy, anything you want to ask her?
Yeah. So now that you've experienced something like this, like dating someone without seeing them, like in a room, I mean, would you suggest this type of, not everybody's going to be on a reality show, but would you suggest that couples get to know each other in such a way where, somehow you don't see them, but you get to know them? Like, was it a different level, like for real, scientifically? Because it was an experiment.
It's funny. I'm a product of the 90s. So like I was growing up when like AOL Instant Messenger was a thing and stuff. So, and it's kind of like it's going backwards a bit where people are starting to, chat without seeing each other first again. I can't say that it's for everybody. Obviously there's no perfect formula for making a relationship work, but I know for Matt and I specifically, I would recommend it for people like us because we're both so like goofy and we like to have fun with people that if we hadn't been in the situation that we were, like talking to each other without seeing each other and, under the circumstances, like knowing that we both wanted a real relationship, we would have just gotten caught up in having fun. And I don't think it ever would have gone any deeper than that. So I know personally I'm pretty thankful for it. And if for people out there that are interested in something like this, if you know yourself and you know that you have a hard time, like taking conversations more seriously in person, then yeah, I would absolutely recommend it because it makes you break yourself down and want to break somebody else down. Like get to the nitty gritty of things.
That is a pretty good point about their personalities. We're going to end with this because I haven't seen the reunion yet, but you guys are still married, right? You and Barnett, you and Matt?
I'm not sure if I'm supposed to confirm or deny that. What do you think?
I think you are. What do I know? I'll just watch it then. Listen, you got me. I'm a big fan. I watched it. My girlfriend said you should watch one episode, and I thought, you know what? This is not for me. And about 9 episodes in, I was like, yeah, this was for me. This was totally for me.
Yeah, I think it's like for everybody. Everybody I know watches it. And my kids even have heard about it, but they're not watching it. They're too young. But their moms are watching. It was fun. My daughter had a play date, and one of the moms that was texting me, she's like, so sorry, I've been watching Love is Blind, but I was too embarrassed to tell you. I was like, what, are you kidding? I'm watching it right now too. So everybody's into it.
You can follow
That's
Amber,
so funny.
Atypical Amber. And then also, are you making a bunch of cameo money? Are people hitting you up now?
I had to up my price because I was getting so many coming in that I'm like, all right, I just need to slow this down a little bit more because, there were a lot of those coming through.
Boy, what a problem. What a great problem to have.
You can pay off your makeup credit card bill.
Nice.
Oh, that's been paid off, y'all.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, you can pay off your student loan.
Still working on that. That
All right.
$20,000 takes a little longer, yeah.
Amber, great to talk to you. Thank you so much, and good luck with you and Matt. And good luck, and hopefully we'll meet you soon.
All right, thanks so much. It was
All right.
great talking to you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Amber. She is Amber
right,
Pike
bye-bye.
from Love is Blind. And we tried to do no spoilers there. We kind of had to follow up on the got married
it's
question.
fine.
The picture they sent us as the promo picture that we had to run was her at the altar.
Yeah, and they're excited,
Yes.
hands in the air. So it's like, oh, I guess they said yes.
And if you haven't watched Love is Blind yet, get on it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Even
Yeah, it
knowing
doesn't
this,
matter.
it doesn't matter. It won't affect because there's an a handful of couples, so we have no idea what happened with them.
Get on it. Okay, there we go. Thank you very much. That was fun.